Good morning, everyone. Once again, we are here with a new topic in economics, that is cost and revenue analysis. So, this chapter number 8 we are going to start today. I hope you have completed the question answers of chapter number 7. I know that many of you are preparing only unit test syllabus till lesson number 5, but I think so it is not good enough for you. You should go through all that chapters which are being completed, and you can learn with the classes which are going on. It will better for you, because whenever your doubts may be there, directly you can concern in the classes whenever we'll have the regular classes, and in this way you can complete one part, because that macro and micro both are having equal participation in the board examination question paper. And if your one part is 100% completed, it means that 4 questions you have completed, then only one question you have to complete from other section, because 5 questions are there in long answers, that is 3 3 6. That format is already clear to you. So I hope you understood what I mean to say. So go through that concepts very clearly, so that you will not have problem in the future to complete the concepts. And most probably that our syllabus will be completed till the October, and afterwards we'll have the revision and that board question answers for better performance in board examination. So I hope you understood. Next week we are going to share that project work also and whole day homework also. So be ready for that one also. Without wasting time, now it is time to start chapter number 8. So this chapter is having cost and revenue analysis. So this chapter we are going to discuss that what is explicit cost, implicit cost, economic cost, opportunity cost, all kind of cost, and what is revenue, TC, TP, TC, TR, MR, MC, means all that things we are going to discuss. But these things we'll discuss step by step. So today topic, the basic concepts of cost and production. Uh, so we are going to discuss about what are the basic concept of cost of production, which kind of cost you are going to find in economy while you are going to produce that products or commodity. So first point, money cost. So what is money cost? Money cost refers to the money expense which a firm has to incur the purchasing of hiring the factor services. So the word here, hiring the factor services, is to note down. Purchasing or hiring the factor services. So whatever the money is spent by an entrepreneur to hire that services or purchase the services for production is known as money cost. Whatever money is being expended by a producer. I hope so it is clear to you. As a producer, whatever you are expending, that is money cost. Either purchasing the factors, and one more is there, money payments made by the firm to the owners of various factor services in purchasing and hiring the factor services required in the production of commodity is known as explicit cost. So money cost is also known as accounting cost, and also it is also known as explicit cost. So what is explicit cost? Money payments made by the firm to the owners of the various factor services. So whatever the money is paid by the firm to that factor service owners, that is explicit cost or money cost. So I hope so it is clear. As a producer, whatever the money you are spending in purchasing that factor services which is necessary for production, that is known as explicit cost or money cost or accounting cost. So now we are going to discuss next one, that what is economic cost. So if we are discussing about economic cost, then it includes money cost as well as implicit cost and normal profit. So explicit cost or money cost already we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss about implicit cost. So what are the implicit cost? Means that cost of factors which are available with the entrepreneur is known as implicit cost. For example, that entrepreneur may use his own land, may use his own capital, may use his own entrepreneur services. So these are known as implicit cost. So implicit cost refer to that inputted or estimated value of inputs owned by the firm and used by its own production unit. So as a entrepreneur of a firm, you are using your own services, your land, your capital you are using for your production of the commodity. So sum total of all these cost will known as implicit cost. So I hope it is clear that services which are provided by the entrepreneur, land or capital which is used by that entrepreneur to produce a commodity are the part of implicit cost. So I hope it is clear. So now we are going to discuss the third point, what is normal profit. So normal profit is defined as the minimum payment which a producer must get in order to induce him undertake the risk involved in the production. So whenever your friend is saying something to do, then what you are saying, your first reaction is what I will get. So in the same way, normal profit is defined as the minimum payment which a producer must get in order to induce him undertake the risk. Means as a producer, you are going to take the risk to invest. So whatever you are getting as the minimum profit, that is known as normal profit, or minimum supply price of the entrepreneurial price may have something more than the cost. So whatever that minimum payment as a producer you are getting on selling your product on particular cost is known as normal profit. So it is a minimum payment. Why we are saying so minimum payment? Because it is not abnormal profit. So abnormal profit we will discuss afterwards. But here we are discussing only normal profit. Minimum payment which a producer must get to take the risk. Means why you will take the risk? You will take the risk for minimum payment, and that will consider as the normal profit. Means at least this one you should get. So this is normal profit. I hope it is clear. Means that payment which a producer is getting to take the risk or to produce something is known as normal profit. I think so it is clear to you. Now we are going to discuss about economic cost. So sum total of explicit and implicit cost plus normal profit is known as economic cost. So what is implicit cost? That factors used by that entrepreneur of its own, just like land, just like capital, just like his entrepreneur or entrepreneurship or managerial services. Implicit cost. Explicit cost, what is purchasing outside of the firm and spending money for that one, that is explicit cost. And normal profit means whenever he is going to produce, minimum payment he should get, why he is taking the risk. So his risk is known as normal profit. So normal profit plus implicit cost plus explicit cost, all these things combinedly known as economic cost. So money cost or accounting cost is equal to explicit cost. So explicit cost plus implicit cost plus normal profit is equal to economic cost. So I hope it is clear to you. Now we are going to discuss next concept, important concept. Usually in 2 marks this question may concern many times. So what is opportunity cost? So first go through the statement. The opportunity cost producing any good is the next best alternative good that is given up to produce this good. So you can understand this with the help of example, that as a student you are going to miss the lectures in the school. In place of that you are going to watch a movie. So the cost of movie or opportunity cost of movie will be that lectures which you have missed in the school. So that is opportunity cost. So we can say so that next best opportunity which we are going to get, and whatever the quantity you are going to give up to start next best opportunity, that is known as opportunity cost. And if that is more than before, then you can go for next option, otherwise you are not going on next option. So it will clear with the help of example when we will discuss about applications of opportunity cost. So here we have to understand only one thing, that opportunity cost in money terms is the sum total of explicit and implicit cost. So opportunity cost is different from accounting cost, or since accounting cost is taken in the sense of explicit cost only. So opportunity cost may be there sum total of explicit and implicit, not only explicit. So we are taking both the cost implicit and explicit while we are discussing about opportunity cost. So as I told, one more example I can take, that suppose you are a producer and it is possible to produce cloth, bread or pencils, but bread is the next best alternative to the cloth. So then what will happen? Opportunity cost of producing the cloth is expressed in the terms of amount of bread, not in pencils, not in other items which you can produce. Why? Because bread is the next best example for producing for alternative of clothes. So we can say so that the number of pencils to be given up to produce that bread is not that opportunity cost. That quantity of cloth which you are going to give up to produce that bread, that is the opportunity cost for that one. In the terms of money we are counting, and we will calculate implicit and explicit cost both. So now we can move that next applications of opportunity cost. And the first is there making production decision. So we know well problem of choice. What is problem of choice? We have discussed in class 11th, that we are having limited resources, and by that selecting one commodity as alternative to another commodity, we can continue our economy or our society. So opportunity cost indicates the fact that when the society employs resources in a particular way, it is not merely making the decision to produce these goods, but it is to deciding not to produce some other goods. So you may understand the example with the help of that one, that decision to produce a particular commodity involves an opportunity cost in terms of that commodities that the society has to sacrifice. For example, that while we are having while we are going to have one sugar mill, then cost of that sugar mill may be paid by the society. Also they may have noise pollution, they may have air pollution. This is also part of the society which they are sacrificing while we are going for production of sugar. So that we can say so that making production decisions, we have to go through all these conditions, means whatever the society is going to sacrifice. So I hope you understood. So concept of opportunity cost is fundamental to the basic concept economic problems. It emphasizes the problem of choice, since resources are scarce and they cannot be used to produce all the things simultaneously. So we have to decide one, and we have to check that opportunity cost, whatever that society or community is going to sacrifice if they are going to produce that particular commodity. So if it is more than that product which you are producing now, then you will continue for same, and if it is less than that one, then you are going to go have the next product. So I hope you understood this one. Next we are going to discuss about determining national priorities. So national priorities we can understand better with the help of example of bread and butter. Gun and butter, which was there in class 11th. In the case of PPC, you have discussed. So while we are going to produce more butter, you have to sacrifice guns, and while you are going to produce guns, you have to sacrifice butter. So why it is so? Because we are having limited resources, and country has to decide the priority. Either they are going for civilian goods or for army or defense. So budget they are making, and then they have to select that which matter they have to invest more. Either that schools are important or roads are important. If roads are important, then school will be less in the society. So it means that we are going to produce going to construct road on the cost of schools. And if we are thinking about defense, so guns we are going to produce on the cost of butter. So butter if we are going to produce, then we are going to sacrifice the cost of guns. So that determination is taken by the government. Priority is fixed by the government. What is the priority of the government? Because that government is having limited resources and they cannot produce all the commodities together. So they have to decide which commodity they should go for, or opportunity cost of which commodity is more than another commodity which they are going to sacrifice. So then they will decide what to produce and what not to produce according to the priorities of country. So next we are going to discuss studying customer behavior. So what is customer behavior or consumer behavior? So one simple example you can understand: the satisfaction of one type of want involves sacrificing some other wants. So real cost of satisfying any want involves sacrificing some other wants. So for example, as I have told you before, that you are going to watch the movie by bunking your lectures. You are going to play in the field or playground by bunking your lectures, so that opportunity cost of the lecture is less than your movie or your game or your play or your masti what you are making with your friends is more opportunity cost than your lectures. So it is considered or consumer behavior can be decided by the help of opportunity cost. So one more: satisfaction of one type of wants involves sacrificing some other wants. So if you are going to miss the lecture, then you are enjoying movies. It means that movie is having more opportunity cost than lectures. So it may decide that whatever that consumers behavior. So commodity which is having more influence on the consumer's decision can decide about the consumer's behavior, that which kind of behavior consumer is having, whatever the choices are there, and according to that economy can go for the production. So next we are going to discuss, that is determining relative prices. So what are relative prices? Relative prices means one example I can discuss, car and scooters. So as a producer, if we are producing one car and another choice is there to produce 8 scooters, so price of car and scooter are not same, but relative price of one car and 8 scooters, if we are comparing, then which is more or where the benefit will be more, that producer will go for that one. If a producer is producing car and not getting more benefit when he was producing 8 scooters, then he will go for 8 scooters, not for car. One car compared to 8 scooters. Relatively price he has compared, and he found that car's value or production of car is giving less profit than price of scooter, or that profit on the scooter. So he will go for scooters, not for car. So if one car is giving more profit, then he will go for car and he will sacrifice scooters. Because the resources are fixed, either he can produce that car or he can produce the scooter. So concept of opportunity cost is useful in determining that relative price of that commodities, Price of a commodity is compared to that price of another commodities is known as relative price. So as I told, that price of car will compared by the price of scooters, and which opportunity cost will be more, will prefer for that one. So now we are going to discuss last one. Last topic is determining that factor remuneration. So factor remuneration means salaries and allowances also decided by the opportunity cost. For example, that you are working in a factory as a peon and you are getting 10,000 rupees per month, and you are having the offer to work in another factory on the same salary. So that opportunity cost is not being changed, both are having same. So you will not change the factory, you will simply stuck with your factory. But if they are offering you that more salary or advance packages or handsome allowances, some perks they are providing to you, then you can leave your peon from one factory, means suppose that it is steel factory, then you can join for another manufacturing unit where you are getting more allowances. So opportunity cost will be less of this job which you are doing now, and you will shift for, or you will sacrifice this job for another job, because there you are getting more allowances, and there you are getting more benefits. So determining the factor remuneration, opportunity cost is also works because that person can decide that which product is having more opportunity cost, and he will go for that one only. So last point we are going to discuss real cost. So real cost refers to the efforts that and sacrifice made by the owners of factor of production used in the production in the of a commodity. So we can say so that in terms of sacrifice, labor has to put physical and mental efforts doing the work, and owners of capital and land have to make sacrifice by not using these resources themselves. So as a producer, if you are giving your land for production, if you are giving your capital for production, if you are giving your time for production, it means you are sacrificing your comfort, your leisure, you are sacrificing that rent which you can get from the land, you are land which you are sacrificing that interest which you can get on your capital. So all these things are considered as a real cost. So sacrifice, discomfort, and pain which is taken by the entrepreneur to start the production, that is the part of real cost. But we cannot calculate it manually, or we cannot calculate it in the terms of money, because that pain, whatever discomfort, the sacrifice which he has done cannot be counted in the terms of money. So that concept of real cost has no practical significance, because it is a subjective concept, and it is difficult to estimate that cost if it is taken subjective, not in terms of money. So I hope you understood what the concept of real cost. So that's all for today.